Hey there, so today we have another beer talk, and this is about the idea of enjoying a beer through the 4 or 6 pack that you buy or buy singles. And this is probably a multi-video process where like I have to do, more kind of like a breakdown of all this opinions and talk and having and suggestions for you guys. But this is just a quick like impromptu. So like sometimes I try to write the like not an actual script like a news anchor where I like read every word, but like I try to write like tasting like a little guideline about what I'm going to say. But this is just impromptu. And so the quick and dirty is that obviously this is Headhunter. I tend to find you divide the beers into 2 ways. The greatest and best, or like the really great and best beers that you're gonna have are beers you want to buy a 6 pack of, because the best beers, for me, have to pass a 2-prong test. A, drinkability, like a beer that you just want to like boom, and you're gonna enjoy it. And then the other one is like me, like doing a beer review, but you don't have to do a beer review, but you can also just like sit watching a TV show or hang out with friends. Hanging out with friends probably is a drinkability issue. But if you're just hanging out and having a beer, and maybe you're one-on-one, not in a party or something, right? And you can actually just like sip on the beer and think about it. And the best beers pass that 2-prong rule, where it's A, high drinkability, enjoyability, and then B, great complexity and thoughtability. Is that even a word? I'm just throwing words out there. Thoughtability, like the ability to think about a beer and pick apart the complex flavor compounds that you can find in it, and enjoy both sipping at it and just sort of crushing at it, right? That's that's in my opinion the greatest and best beers you can have. And great beers, excel at, when you do the 2 prongs better and better and better, that's when you have the best beers, right? The great thing about, so that's one split. The other one is that I think that for your education and also your palate and diversity of your palate, I just tend to just drink more beer, more singles of beers, right? And sort of like why I do the channel is that like I just don't go to the store and buy a 6-pack of anything anymore. Like I just not my thing. Like I just I enjoy doing this single reviews for you guys, and that like sort of tricks my palate or trains my palate, and also like reminds my palate. When was the last time you had a Marathon? When was the last time you hit a double? When was the last time you had Schwarzbier? When was the last time you had Battle Aged Out? When was the last time you had hazy IPA? And it sort of like makes your palate like constantly on the attack of reminding yourself, tasting and tasting and tasting. And that's sort of like the critical thinking that makes beer great for me. And the great thing about beer is that ideally you have a situation where you can buy singles, and that's sort of like part of the thing that like really sells me on beer. And going forward, I'm not going forward. I've been in this industry for like 10 years now. I've been doing this channel for 12 years now, I think. Something like 10 years. I've been in the industry for almost 10 years, almost 10 years, and the channel's been live for like almost 10 years, something like that, or 10 years, something like that. But part of it is like, that makes it great. Like, you just like pick up a bottle and bang, even expensive one, like a Bombers or whatever, but like even expensive single can of something that I go to GB's, whatever. $8, sure, that's, 1 or 2 drinks out of that, depending ABV, 16 ounce or not, or whatever. But that makes it really special in the sense that like you can shift around, and I find that it always makes me think and makes me educate myself, and that's how I ended up educating myself about beer earlier on. Now, you talk about the idea of like, I've always thought about going into wine. I really like the idea of wine, sommeliers, and all this cool stuff. But to really educate yourself, you're talking about like, you do want to spend money on decent quality wine. You're talking about at least you're breaking at least the $15 mark per bottle. And now you're 5 drinks deep on that bottle. And then if you want to get to a decent range of the quality, I think you're looking at least $25, $30, $45, $50. You don't have to go premium, super premium, where you're like, oh, the super crazy Bordeaux stuff and whatever, spending like, I don't know, $1,000 secondary, who knows? But the point is, now you're stuck with like 5 drinks in one bottle, and like, there's ways to like, figure out how to save it, but you're investing. Let's say you want to blind taste yourself, really learn a bunch of stuff. You're buying 4. Let's say you want to do 4 or 5 wines. You spend decent money. You're looking at $100 right there. I don't know about you, but I don't have that kind of like ability. And then also like, you need to find people to taste with, and then da 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 da. Bang. I could literally go to the store for you and educate you about beer very well, and go to a range of countries, styles. I can get you 6 beers for, shoot, let's go with $25. That's I honestly think that's actually very expensive, but you include some really expensive stuff in there, sure. I can do 6 experiences, and honestly, you probably could take it. $25, 6 beers, drink as much as you want that night, choose a night off. If you can't finish it, don't get too wasted, pour it out. Whatever. Or share it with somebody else. Now, like the wine situations, you're crazy. And then the bourbon situation, the buying the whole bottle of liquor and all that stuff. Like, beer just comes in accessible kind of packages. And I sort of like that, in the sense that, like, again, we're talking about tasting great beer in larger packages. Otherwise, expanding your palate, expanding your education. And even me right now, like, advanced system, blah, blah. It's so great to be able to just buy singles, do reviews for guys, and always have my palate on check. Like, you never are great when you get complacent. So it's always, try something new, review, like, and you guys sort of allow me to do that. Otherwise, I'll sit in my corner and watch TV and, just enjoy the beer and think about it myself. But it's cool to do reviews for you guys. So shout out to, what do you think? Like, how do you compare this balance of like 6-packs, singles, wine, buying, nice bottles of liquor, buying nice bottles of this stuff, and the beer too has nice bottles, like, and you can spend a good, hell, there's bombers out there you can spend $20, $30, $40, $50 secondary, hundreds, who knows. So that's my thought. Sort of like why beer sort of like makes sense to me. Unless you have a great tasting group and bottle shares and all this fun stuff, which is absolutely fantastic. Wine has that, liquor has that, cool stuff, and it's a great camaraderie. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Cheers later.